Hello everyone and welcome to Galaxy 89 Cars. Now you join me on an early and cold Sunday morning. I've come down to Renaissance Classic and Sports Cars, which is in Surrey, brand new supercar dealership with some pretty tasty things in the window if you can see. So today is the first breakfast meet at the legendary Brooklands Race Circuit. As this dealership specialises in classic and sports cars, and it's the first classic breakfast meet of the year, I'm sure you can put two and two together. The guys at Renaissance Classics have been kind enough to let me take out one of their classic cars to the breakfast meet. And it's not just any car. In 1968, legendary actor Steve McQueen took a GT390 Mustang around the streets of San Francisco in what has become probably one of the most iconic chase scenes ever. Since that time, that car has become an iconic image in the automotive world, but not just automotive world. People who love cinema, everything. There just happens to be a GT390 Fastback that's a Bullitt replica here at Renaissance Classics for sale. So although I had a tiny little test drive in it a couple days ago just to ensure that I could actually drive the thing, this is going to be the first time I've properly driven it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the start-up sound, my first impressions of the car, the driving experience, the sounds, the noises, the vibrations, everything. So anyway, let's get inside and start her up. So by Bullitt Mustang, what exactly do I mean? Well, this is a 1968 GT390 Fastback. 390 refers to the cubic inches of its engine, so that's 390 cubic inches. Or in terms that you may understand a bit better, 6.4 litre naturally aspirated V8. The 4-carb version, so we've got 325 brake horsepower. Absolutely gorgeous car. And for those film buffs out there, this is a very, very close replica model of the one that Steve McQueen drove in the film Bullitt. So we're going to start the car up, take it out, and then take it to the show. Excuse my mad hair, it's 7 AM and it's an actual 1968 Mustang after all. It takes a little bit more time to get it started up. You need to rev it, make sure the engine's getting warm so it can idle properly. So now that we're all sorted, I'm going to head out and I'll join you in the car. So we've arrived at the event, so I decided not to film on my way here because I just wanted to get used to the feel of the car, get used to the feel of it in traffic, get used to the feel of the soft brake and the really, really sensitive throttle. Anyway, we've arrived. There's an amazing selection of cars here. I'm going to give you a little walk around of what's here, and then on the way back I'll give you more of an insight into me driving the car. Starting my walk around and closest to the Mustang, I found a very intriguing Type 35 style Bugatti replica with its gorgeous interior and engine bay on show. At least I assume it's a replica. A bit further along and to the left of the Type 35 were two DeLoreans, a car that will always have a cult following thanks to its star appearance in Back to the Future. Shortly after admiring the DeLoreans, a squadron of Morgan three-wheelers arrived, causing an astonishing amount of noise for such a small vehicle. My favourite is the black car with a tan interior. Something about it just stood out to me. As I walked around the corner from the Morgans, I found this stunning 1969 Mustang that has been with the same owner since the late 1970s. Not far from this sat an Escort Cosworth and then a small group of Porsche 914s, the mid-engine target of the first half of the 1970s. When I walked around to the other half of the display area, I found examples of Series 1 and 2 Jaguar E-Type. No British classic show is complete without a scattering of these. There was also a red car with its long, torpedo-esque bonnet up, showing its almost concours level inline 6. The final two highlights that I simply couldn't leave without filming were an AC Cobra and, what is probably the star attraction of the show, an Aston Martin DB5. So lots of variety at the show, even some relatively new cars, which is a bit odd. Back in the Mustang now. Insanity motorcyclist. So I have to wait a million years to actually be able to get out of here. Rear-wheel drive car, 6.4 litre V8, or in old money it's 390 cubic inches. I don't really want to light the rear wheels up too much. The good thing though is that it's an automatic gearbox. only a few speeds. I've got a brand new power steering system on the car as well, so it means that it's actually really, really light. So it's pretty effortless, but at the same time, you can put so much feed into the steering wheel and not much happens at the front wheels. It's actually a little bit unnerving at first. Because it's a left-hand drive car, usually right-hand drive, of course, being here in the UK, it's also a bit odd, just to sort of gauge the width on the right-hand side. But I think this car is deceptively small. It feels a lot smaller driving in it than it looks on the outside, and because of the new power steering unit, it feels a lot lighter. The throttle is quite sensitive initially, but then there's not a lot of build-up after that. So we've got a new braking system on the car as well, a sort of upgraded, newer type of disc brake system. So essentially it means that the braking is better, but it's still nothing in comparison to modern cars. I mean, on my Bath, for example, I have Brembo sports brakes, and they work pretty well. There's a lot of feedback from them, but with these, it honestly feels like I'm pushing my foot into marshmallow. And in terms of the indicator, there's a stalk here, which is good, but it doesn't actually tip. There are small lights up the front, which kind of show you, and there are even lights on the bonnet of the car, which also show which way you're indicating, but it's really, really hard to see them. So what I'm going to do is take a little drive now, and I'll catch up with you when we get back to the main building. So we're all back after the show, shutter closed, car safely back into the workshop. I have to say a huge thank you to Ren Classics for this opportunity. It was an amazing opportunity to drive such a thing. I apologise for not getting more footage of me driving, had to try and make do with asking the person that came with me to help me film. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this insight. Please subscribe for the latest content. Until next time, cheers.